Welcome back to Near Protocol Philippines. And we have with us this time a founder of an NFT project that is building on Near. It's called Enter the Sphere. And we have Joey with us tonight, the one and only, the mastermind behind everything in this project. Joey, welcome to the show on behalf of Near Protocol Philippines and the community. We're happy to have you.
Hello, hi, nice to meet you. Hi. Yes, so I'm the founder of Enter the Sphere, this game project that I've been working on for a little over a year and a half now. We're originally a Bitcoin Cash project. We were twice crowdfunded there, basically on a sort of Kickstarter platform that's decentralized called Flipstarter. And before that, I worked on the token specification on Bitcoin Cash. I am basically the director of the development of the NFT specification there. I did a token project before that was listed successfully. It was a social media aggregation platform. Before that, I used to work in I had a bunch of sort of entrepreneur projects. I used to work in e-commerce, and before that, I worked in television and film as a promo post-production manager for basically 7 years, and that's basically my experience. And I've been in crypto for a while, sort of seen the market come and go and things come and go over the years. And so this project's pretty much my baby. NFT game project. We're doing something I think is quite new. It's a bit of the old familiar, but also a lot of new tech in there. I don't know if that answers the question. I hope
That very much answers the questions. Thank you, Joey. So you mentioned that you've been in the crypto and blockchain space for quite some time now. May I ask how long specifically have you been in?
Oh, I actually first got into Bitcoin actually. So this is all the way back in 2014, 2015, something like that. And in that, actually, when I first heard of Bitcoin, when I first learned about, I don't know, now you guys all call it crypto, right? Cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Basically, I actually thought it was not really serious, because I actually first learned about it in 2013. And this was like back in the days of the Silk Road and all this like very, very old stuff that nobody knows about. But when I first learned of it, I thought it was like, well, it's kind of like this World of Warcraft game currency. I don't see why this is going to be like worth money, right? This was like obviously like a long time ago. And then at some point, when I used to do e-commerce, I used to sell nootropics online. I was looking for alternatives, and I discovered Bitcoin, and I started taking Bitcoin, and that was kind of like my whole journey into crypto. And then I started reading about proof of work, mining, the security of crypto, and how this can replace a lot of very old centralized technologies, right? And that's basically like my into crypto. And even then, for a few years, I kind of like avoided the crypto scene because it wasn't really, I was more, how do I put it? I was more, into the contract manufacturing and e-commerce and this stuff. And the Bitcoin thing was like a way to sort of solve a problem. It wasn't actually, they actually used as money, believe it or not. This was actually like back in the day. Bitcoin wasn't digital gold. It was actually used as a payments system because the fees were actually pretty cheap. It was only about, I think around 2015, 2016 that I started getting involved in meetups and communities and stuff like that. So I actually started off running crypto meetups very early. Like this is like in 2015. Right. So basically, we actually explored a bunch of different options. So we explored like Solana, we explored Polygon, we explored Gnosis. Obviously, we explored Bitcoin Cash because that's where we're from, Smart BCH. And there's a few other ones like Engine Coin, and there's like a long list. And we sort of actually were trying to like pivot away from Bitcoin Cash because we started realizing that Bitcoin Cash isn't a great platform for building a NFT game. Like it just wasn't really, Bitcoin Cash is designed to be used like Bitcoin. It wasn't really designed for Web3. Like trying to do Web3 on it, it's like, you're trying to do something on it that it wasn't really the best sort of product fit, right?
Yeah, it
So
wasn't optimized.
yeah, it's not optimized, and we basically started looking at different projects. So one of the first things we tried to do was actually we were interested in Solana, which is funny because Solana just had a massive hack. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we sort of went thick into it. So we actually spent 1 month like just building the whole Solana implementation, and then this platform was just full of bugs. Like we had so many issues of their SDK, which is a short for software development kit, and there were just like so many bugs that were like, we can't actually use this. And also, we found out that minting NFTs on Solana wasn't cheap. Like they sell themselves as a cheap platform, but actually, because of the way the Solana blockchain was designed, it seemed like they never really designed it around NFTs. Like to mint you can mint a simple NFT on Solana, which we'll get into, like about the differences between a generation 1 NFT and a generation 2 NFT and a generation 3 NFT. The difference between so basically a good NFT carries a lot of metadata. And Solana seemed to have not thought about this issue about, how you piggyback information on an NFT, right? So they actually have a different thing called the Metaplex standard, where you have to do a bunch of associated transactions with the original NFT transaction and sort of like link it together and pay all these rental fees to create the NFT. So it actually worked out to be like pretty expensive. It was like, this was obviously back when Solana's price was a lot higher, but it worked out for like something like $2 per mint, which is not like crazy, right? But when you're looking at a game, and we are a game, and we need players to have like hundreds of game items, right? Like hundreds of,
Exactly.
armor, components, sword, implants and all this stuff that you can equip your sphere avatar with, right? Like it just didn't make sense. So after Solana, we're like, okay, we're gonna be careful. Let's not I'm allowed to swear, and I'm not gonna swear. Let's not build the whole thing like immediately, right? Let's sort of test out different networks. So we began testing on different networks. We tried like a bunch of different things like Engine, Gnosis, and then we tried Near. And the Near ecosystem when it comes to developer toolset is amazing. Like it's so easy to do everything. It's bugless. Like everything is very well documented. It's super fast. And obviously, I'm talking about a Near native, which is a Near L1. And then we saw that there was this Aurora, there's this EVM, and there's a Rainbow Bridge, and you can sort of link all your tokens back to Ethereum and to Aurora and to Near Native. And that Aurora wasn't like so we are building on Near Native, because Near Native obviously has specific things you can do that's different from EVM. But the fact that you can sort of bridge the entire thing to EVM and to Ethereum, and it all does it seamlessly and is decentralized, that was very attractive. So yeah, and from there on, we basically applied to the Near Foundation. We're like, hey, we're building this thing. Would you be interested? We spoke to the Near Foundation. We're like, would you guys be interested for us to port to Near exclusively? Because we really like the platform, and to sort of make the UX good, we want to be like platform, start being one platform exclusive. Because with the game UX, if you're trying to like do different blockchains, it gets really confusing very fast. If you sort of like use Axie, and then you have to use the Ronin, they have like their own blockchain, and then you have to like cross it from, and then you have to put it back into ETH, and then there are like fees, and then it's not great UX for players. And we're really eyeing for like what we think will become a massive market, and that's like NFT gaming and basically blockchain gaming. And I think that the future of blockchain gaming has to be good user experience, right? It has to be high throughput. It has to be seamless. And I think, Near is the good choice for us. So we talked to the the Near Foundation, and I pitched them the thing, and they were like, "Whoa, this looks, you guys are like, you guys built all this stuff. This looks great. Let's get it going." And here we are. So that's basically the how we got into Near.
Yeah, and now again, you're building your game, Enter the Sphere on Near. So maybe you can tell us what you're building exactly. What is this NFT game, Enter the Sphere, if you may?
Sure. So I don't know if you have my like little. I'm not gonna go through like the whole pitch deck because it's obviously not designed.
Sure thing. Yeah, no problem.
So this is the basic team. We have a lot of experience in there. People that work for serious mobile games. I myself, I used to work for National Geographic. I've worked for Lionsgate. And yeah, I'm not gonna go into like all the experience. So what is the game, you ask? Basically, it pretty much plays like a traditional card game. So if you played like Pokemon or Runeterra or Gods Unchained, Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, basically you'll be sort of familiar with some of the concepts of what a collectible trading card game is. And I don't know, do you play any games?
I used to play Hearthstone, yes.
Okay. So if you play Hearthstone, you're quite familiar with the idea that basically a lot of these games you go in and you basically have a deck and you
try to build it.
You cast your creatures, you try to like increase your mana or energy pool, then you basically beat the other creatures up, right? That's kind of the main game. And
yes.
Play up. So where Enter the Sphere differentiates, so we are similar to those games in that model that we're a collectible card game, and you collect cards, you play with the cards. But where we're different is that you, instead of going in with like your creatures, you actually go in with your avatar. You go in with your character that you've equipped with like, your armor, your sword, your stuff. And you go in and you basically like fight the other players. So it plays out more like a fighting game. So I don't know if you played like games like Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy or
I've heard of some of them, yes, but I haven't played them.
So JRPG combat system is pretty much like a sort of like real-time active battle system, they call it. So basically, you're playing the game in real time, but you're taking turns like against each other. But it happens really, really fast. That's kind of like the premise. So I always say the game's a bit like Slay the Spire meets Final Fantasy VII. They're both pretty popular games. So if you're a gamer, you should be familiar with those. One's a Slay the Spire is like this card game you play where you fight your way up tower, and Final Fantasy VII is obviously like a famous Japanese RPG where you save the world by forming, you have a team and you go around and you like fight monsters, right? So yeah, where we're different is that this game you collect cards, but we also interconnect these cards with your own hero NFTs that we call avatars, and you go into the game as your avatar and you go in with your equipment and you play it plays out like a fighting game with cards. And I'll show you some of how this looks like. This is the teaser trailer. I don't know if this is gonna play.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a declining timer. It's very fast paced. We designed it to be like intuitive and easy to pick up. But cool. So this game right now, this actually all works. So we are actually right now looking for we're actually talking to VCs and trying to get more funding to do. Actually, I'll talk about that maybe later about like the tokenomics and so on. But basically, we've been working on this a year and a half. So this all works right now. You can actually play this game. Like,
cool.
PvP, PvE. We have it on closed. We have it on like sort of a closed beta, closed alpha. But this all like functions right now. So this is actually a real game that I played. And let me just show you how it looks. Yeah, so you can see there's like a declining timer. It's very fast paced. It's intuitive, easy to pick up. So yeah, like here you can see it's gonna use the halberd. It's gonna hit another player, and you can see all your actions on the bottom of the screen. And it's you can't see your opponent's health. That's kind of like how we designed this game. It's very intuitive. Like you don't really need to know exactly what a smoke grenade does. You kind of know the idea. And if you really wanted to see what the cards do, you can basically like right click on the icons and it will show what the card does. So this is actually a real game. This is actually loading all the NFTs from your Near wallet. So if you play the game, you'll actually just load all your NFTs directly. You connect your Near wallet, and basically you can play the game like this. And yeah, there's a declining timer, and then you obviously try to like kill that player and try to finish another player. And we have an interesting mechanic in there that we start off with a high energy level, and as you play the game, your willpower actually like, and it becomes harder and harder for you to like execute moves as you play the game. So this is kind of like an inverse of the normal card game when you start off like we play. If you played Hearthstone, you kind of like sort of collect more mana, right? And then at the end of it, you're like using Fireball and like all this stuff, right? For like 7, power cost something. So in our game, it actually starts off with like you start off like, because it's kind of like a real fight, right? You start off like
with everything,
right? But at the end, you're like trying to like punch each other, you're like getting a knife out. Because that's kind of like how a real fight would be. Like you wouldn't like get stronger as you play more, right? Like you wouldn't get stronger, you would just kind of get more and more desperate. And that declining timer you see on the game, like as the game goes on, it gets shorter and shorter. So you have to make fast decisions. And if you don't, if you don't make fast decisions, basically you will get penalized you get forced to defend. And so it's meant to be very hectic, and most games on average, unless it's a stalemate, most games only last about like 2 or 3 minutes. So this definitely designed as some kind of a combination between casual play and min-max playing. Like if you wanted to play it casually, it's actually pretty easy to just pick up the game and learn. But if you want to get good at the game, you can look at exactly what the cards do by right-clicking or by going on a website and sort of figure out what is the best strategy, there. So, right. So back to this and next question, I guess. Yes. It's a short answer. Yes, but we don't really want to use that term anymore. We're actually saying it's play and earn.
Yeah.
I personally have a sort of strong viewpoint on this in the sense that a lot of the older NFT games were not sustainable in the sense that the prices keep going up for the entry fee. Like we saw at Axie Infinity that eventually became like 300 USD to start the game, and people were like renting these NFTs out to players in the Philippines who were making less money, and then that gets taxed to some rich player in America because that player has more money, so he can afford to buy all the NFTs. And they call it a scholarship program, but it's kind of like a nice name to say like outsourcing work, right? So we don't, our focus is to build a fun game that people really want to play, and it's fun. And you will earn NFTs, you will earn tokens, and if you happen to make money from that, and you can of course sell your NFTs, and NFTs will be worth money. Great, but we don't want that to be the focus. Like we don't want people like if they feel like they play the game and they want to play the game like as a job and earn money, great. But we don't want that to be the focus, the selling point, if you will, basically that, oh, you're playing this game just to make an hourly wage. Like, no, I think people should play the game because they enjoy it. And there are obviously tokenomics and there's NFTs and those things will be worth money. But as you can see, like in the current climate, right, those things dive, like, with SLP and Axie Infinity when the price is down, and if people are expecting play to earn, right, and suddenly they're not earning as much, they don't feel good. So we are very focused on the NFTs. We want people to want to collect the NFT cards as collectibles. We want them to collect the avatars. But we do have GameFi in there, so you can stake your avatars and your cards in combination for yield. And the more you play the game, the better the NFTs become, which I'll come on to in a bit. And yeah, but to answer your question, yes, you can play and earn, but that's not the focus. We like to call it play and earn, and that's
Mhm.
like the focus here is really to build a really fun game that's very engaging and people actually have fun. They
Right.
wanna,
Exactly. Exactly.
I want people to like, I want people to play it like, Hearthstone or Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, right? Like they're in there having fun, and if you buy these cards or if you will get these cards as rewards as well, like as loot boxes from just playing. If these cards later on you can sell them for money like a year down the line, great, play and earn. And you also get rewards for actually competing and playing games, right? But I don't think it's a good idea to focus on the play to earn too much. I think for any sort of NFT game, and I see all these new NFT games coming now that also like play to earn. And I think what I've seen happen with that is that yeah, people will come and play to earn, but if they're just there for the money and they're not there for the game and the game's not fun, after a while, when finally the yield goes down, and it will, from market conditions, but you can't print money forever, right? Like there has to be like
True.
eventually
True.
something will happen to the price or something, and then you don't. Yeah, and then what happens I've seen on those projects is the players leave because the players go, well, I'm not earning anymore. So you want to have the extra element of that. Hey, you're there earning money, they're earning tokens and they're earning NFTs, but also they actually really enjoy the community and the game. And I think that's very important. Yeah.
Yeah. So the selling point is the play, right? It's the play portion. Yes.
And ownership. So you do like, so unlike Axie or these other games where they store your NFTs, actually they store your game items on a centralized server. Actually, the moment you play the game, all these NFTs are in your wallet, like all this
Yeah.
stuff.
They're yours to keep.
You have not your keys, not your keys, not your crypto, right? I don't know what they're your keys. So you have your keys to NFTs. We as the game can do nothing to seize those NFTs from you. When you play the game, we do a signature check on your wallet and we verify you own those NFTs, and then you have those NFTs in your wallet. And this is one thing that we built the project quite differently, in the sense that there's a huge emphasis on the players owning their assets at any point in the time. So if the server goes down, you still have all your cards. If the server goes down, you still have all your avatars. That you could just we could just basically open source that code. Someone can run a server and it'll all work. We don't have a database storing people's cards that that could go down. So that's the ownership of your items is obviously a big thing. If you want to talk about where Web3 is going to be substantially different to Web2 gaming, right? It's this idea of ownership that, when we have partnerships with other games or other games want to include these NFTs, they can actually take those NFTs and plug it into another game, right? Or they can sell it on a secondary market. So these are all things about blockchain gaming that are quite different, right? So ownership is definitely a huge part of that. So right now we are basically, we've just ported the whole game to testnet on Near, and we are working on the mainnet. And we are sort of redoing a bunch of things in the game because, we have a chance, right? Because we're changing platforms, so we might as well put in a few nice extra candy in there, right? And so one of the things we're doing is, for example, we are. So I showed you the game earlier, but that game we are actually working on a massive graphic upgrade on it. So that game will actually look 4 times better. It's actually built on a Babylon JS engine, which is basically this Microsoft WebGL technology that's very next generation, and the game runs across like all platforms, mobile, tablet, and desktop. We're doing a bunch of like things. So for example, like all these cards you see, can you see my screen at the moment?
Yeah. I can.
So all these cards you see, which we've divided into these categories, they're all going to become like these 3D holographic cards.
That looks cool.
Thanks. And we so I didn't go into the avatar. So your characters, we had these generative arts that were like these pixel art. sort of PFPs, but the difference with the Sphere is that you can actually level these NFTs. So the more you play and they're connected to the card system, so you link the cards of your avatar, you equip your avatar with these cards. And as you play the game more, they basically level up and they generate more yield and they get like new abilities and stuff like that. So yeah, these are our legacy ones. So we'll probably at some point within the next 3 to 6 months do a free mint of these legacy avatar NFTs. You will basically connect your wallet on Discord and you will get one of these. And you can use these. They're like the key card to get into the blockchain side of the game. So to earn stuff in the Sphere and the blockchain stuff, basically you need one of these avatar NFTs to access the game, to actually play the game. You can play the game without the avatar NFTs, but you don't have access to all the tokenomic stuff. So you don't have access to all the rewards and all the other stuff, but you can play the game without the avatar NFTs. So within that 3 to 6 months, we're actually reworking the avatar NFTs to these new 3D ones. And the reason why we've done that is that we feel like these ones are cool. I like these. I do like them. They have a specific look to them, but I also feel like this is a bit maybe like a year ago where people were into like CryptoPunks and that sort of more pixel. But now like we're into Web3, right? We're into the metaverse. So we are doing these newer ones that I actually sort of modeled them around like, anime toys.
Yes.
Anime toys are like, they've got that like really cool hyperplastic look. And we're gonna have, thousands of variations of these. I want to show you a closer look of the actual thing because I don't think these are a good, because you can't really see the detail on these.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a futuristic. So yeah, it's got a more futuristic vibe to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously this is like, you can see here like the sort of like that hyperplastic material. It's a bit like, I don't know if you, well, I mean, I'm not gonna be you watch anime? You watch anime?
Oh yeah.
So
Filipinos love anime.
So yeah, I saw this like Demon Slayer like a toy in Bangkok, right? And I just love that like kind of like it's not photoreal, but it's got this like plastic. You see the materials here. It's got that like I don't know what you call it, like a hyperplastic look, and I found that really attractive. I think that to me, I'm trying to like make these collectible, right? So this was kind of like a thing of like, okay, I feel like those NFTs are cool, which we're gonna again give away as free mints at some point. So you might want to.
Guys might take note to our viewers there. There's going to be a free mint coming up.
You guys want to follow the Twitter channel for those kind of updates because we're not gonna mint many of the old avatars, so they'll be like actually super rare. But yeah, so as we as I thought more about the metaverse and Web3 and how everything looks on Web3, I realized that going for a more sort of like 3D look would be like nicer. Maybe people would actually find that more attractive. So yeah, that's basically so that should be like within, where are we now? We are in August. So these should be ready for like October. We're probably gonna do a sale of these at October time.
That's pretty close. Yeah.
So right now we're talking to a bunch of different NFT exchanges, few and far, Mintbase, Polo 42, and Paris, and we're kind of like deciding which NFT to. Do you have any ones that you like for gaming?
Gaming,
Paris is Paris the biggest one, basically.
I feel so. Yeah, I feel so. Just because they're like the earliest, they're one of the first marketplaces to really be established on top of Near.
Yeah, so that's great. Yeah, because I talked to the team and I really like them, and I think the only concern with Paris is that we're not sure if they're like really into like game NFTs or not. So I think we're still talking about to them about that. They say they're actually there's some stuff maybe I shouldn't talk about.
Yes, yes, sure. Okay. Let's just.
Yeah, anyways, Paris might be building something pretty cool, but I'm not.
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
not supposed to divulge on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to show you some of the more of the holographic cards. What these will look like. This is actually inspired by Battle Angel Alita. I really like that, an artwork on a Battle.
Yes, I can see some sort of resemblance to the style. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me go back to the thing. So yes, on the free to format. So I'm not. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to go into the Battle Hub and stuff like that. So Battle Hub is basically our smart contract nerve center of how to connect the whole. I see it still says play to earn, but we're going to change that to play and earn. And actually, you can ask you a question about that later because I want to go back to the
sure thing.
6 months. So yeah, we're doing the. We are also coming to NearCon, so my team's gonna be there at NearCon. It's not gonna be like a huge. I'm not gonna have a stand and there is it. I'll be there basically, but we'll have some cool stuff. We're trying to do some NFT cards, some like swag, like keychains and stickers and posters. So I'll be walking around with a bag and giving people NFTs and stuff like that at NearCon. And so that's going to happen in September, and after we do the so the people when we do the free mint, so the free mint will be somewhere between now and October. People with those avatar NFTs can start playing the game, but it'll be more like a play test. We're actually in play test right now. But we are actually migrating the platform to Near, right? So when we first released those avatar NFTs, you can play the game and earn NFTs with them, but we wouldn't have the token generation event yet, so you wouldn't be able to earn all of those NFTs yet. But you will be, and obviously the more you play the game, the higher level your NFT becomes, and the higher level your NFT becomes, the more yield and the more rewards you get. So actually it's pretty cool. The mechanic we have is pretty cool. It's almost like the first of its kind in crypto because I haven't really seen this mechanic on other games. But so our NFTs, the prices are they don't really go the avatar NFT price goes up depending on how much time you've actually invested in playing the game. So the player progression is actually recorded on the avatar NFT. So all your abilities, all your achievements, and all your experience and level is recorded on the avatar NFT, which are obviously these guys, right? And so the idea is that, well, at some point, maybe you want to stop playing the game. You go, okay, I played everything, I finished the game. Let's sell my avatar NFT. And at that point, that avatar NFT should be worth a lot more money than when you first bought it because it's got all the stuff on it now, right? This is what you call a generation generation free NFT, where you can we actually modify. They're called living NFTs, and so the data on it has part immutable. So the artwork and so on and so forth is immutable, but the actual stuff on it, like your achievements and what you've done in the game and what level you are, is recorded on. And as you level up, the appearance of the avatar actually changes. And so where was I going with this? So basically, yeah, like if you have a level 20 avatar and someone has a level 1 avatar and you have a level 20 because you played the game a lot more, when you sell it on the secondary market and the player wants to come in with that level, or they just want an avatar that has more stuff on it, that avatar is going to be worth more money, right? So you, in a sense, you sort of take out the speculative gambling aspect out of the NFTs and you make it about players playing the game. And obviously our goal is to have a fun game. So, like people play the game for fun, and then out of the fun, the value of the NFT
goes up.
Yeah. So to go back to the 3 to 6 months timeline. So after we do the avatar sales, And some of these details might change depending on where we are at with the finance and in terms of raising more money from investors. Um, Basically, after that, you'll be able to play the game. So again, the game is 90% there. We're doing some graphic upgrades. All the GameFi stuff still needs a lot of work. So the GameFi stuff we're still building. This battle hub thing we're still building. This actually all works right now, but we're moving it all to smart contracts because Near is really, really fast. And actually our Near implementation is great because everything just snaps like that. And after that, basically, we're probably going to be doing a token launch early next year. And the token launch, we either will do it ourselves or I think it's very likely we'll find a launch partner. So that could be like PadFi or any one of these platforms that it will be like either a fair launch or it's going to be, there will be like a private sale where people early in can get the tokens for cheap and then there'll be a public sale portion. And you know, so somewhere between October and early next year, like people will be able to basically play the game and earn NFTs. And then when we do the token launch, that becomes added to the Battle Hub, and people will be able to play the game and earn ore for playing the game. And that kind of joins everything together, right? So Battle Hub is our the smart contract nerve center of our entire metaverse experience. You know, I told you already about the player progression and how that's a big thing, right? That you record, the avatars actually record your experience and traits and what you've like gained in the game. And where we are different from other projects, instead of just so projects tend to just do the GameFi part, right? Or they just do that. It's just GameFi. You basically pool your different NFTs together and you try to earn yield and do other stuff, right? Or they try to build a mobile game and the mobile game is like a mobile game. So where we're trying to bridge this together, and this is important because we are a web integrated web application that it runs on browser, it runs on mobile, and it runs on desktop because we built this using Babylon JS technology. That we're trying to put the middle ground of that GameFi actually connects with this very fun, engaging, replayable core game. And we believe that with Battle Hub, we sort of join this all together. And yeah, that's basically.
So thank you very much for sharing with us, Joey, your brainchild, your sci-fi fantasy universe game, this play and earn project that you, for 1.5 years, you've been really building. And yeah, we can really see that a lot of love and effort has been put into, you know, making this game what it is right now. And we're really looking forward to it. You know, we're interested to get updates from you and the team down the line. Maybe we could connect Twitter, connect you with our community in the Philippines. We have quite a number of interested individuals, you know, looking for NFT games that they could play on the Near blockchain. Because yeah, there's pretty exciting stuff. So thank you very much for this very meaty, very this interview. Yeah, a lot of information. I have learned a lot. You know, things that you normally don't pick up from. You know, you don't see. You know, people just see the final product. You know, the surface of this game, but. And then again, if you think of all the technicalities, all the effort that really goes into making one, you really get to appreciate the game on a whole different level. And so we hope that once this interview goes live, the community will also be able to appreciate the work you and your team have put into this game. So thank you very much for your time, Joey, and for sharing with us the sphere, entering the sphere.
Enter the sphere.
Enter the sphere, yes.
Yeah, so basically you enter the sphere and then you sort of there's this throne room and you're meant to climb the tower, and that's kind of like the bigger game. You fight against each other and there's like a procedurally generated tower. That's kind of like the sort of end goal of we sort of get this to scale. There's actually like a more complicated game mode where you go into the tower and you actually end up in this throne room at the top of the tower. You have to exit the sphere. The sphere is like this planet that's protected by an energy barrier, and these people go in to basically hunt for like treasures and orb, and orbs the energy, the token, our token is the energy that powers like this metaverse, and they basically fight to get this orb out by taking the throne room, and that's kind of
Yeah, anyway, thank you very much, Joey, for your time and your team. We're really looking forward to enter the Sphere game that you have shown us. And we hope that we could, connect you with our community. So we'll be plugging in your social media handles in the description once this video goes live. And to our community members who are looking to have fun and playing, looking for an NFT game that is built or project that is built on Near and coming really soon, we recommend that you check out Enter the Sphere. And yeah, see it for yourself if it's something that you don't mind playing for a good while. So again, maraming salamat. We hope you have a good night on behalf of Near Protocol Philippines and the team at Enter the Sphere. This is Joey and Andrew. We hope you have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Thanks.